At Sea's academy parking lot, Jihan encountered trouble with a big guy who couldn't believe a poor beggar like Jihan would come in such an old car. The big guy tried to punch Jihan, but Saya got out of the car, and the security guard and others were shocked. Jihan stopped the punch midair using his force power. He then used his power to silence the big guy and put him on the ground. Jihan told him to stop cursing and that he was accompanying a student. Saya urged her uncle to stop because everyone was watching. At that moment, someone called out to Saya from a big car. It was her friend, Kim Hee-soo. Saya and Hee-soo greeted each other warmly, as they hadn't met in a long time. Hee-soo asked her bodyguard what he was doing and then was surprised to see Saya in the old car. She wondered why Saya wasn't using one of her supercars. Saya explained that her dad had sold all the supercars. Hee-soo offered to pick Saya up next time and give her a ride to the academy. Jihan felt suspicious about Hee-soo's actions. In his past life, Saya had no close friends. Something felt off. Meanwhile, the Twin Star Guild recruiter, a beautiful lady and her bodyguard, arrived at the academy looking for Jihan. The security guard told them Jihan had just left. The lady couldn't believe it, as she had arrived in less than 10 minutes. There was no way he had already gone. The beautiful lady was angry that everything had wrapped up in 10 minutes, worrying that foreign scouts might approach Jihan. Her bodyguard stopped her from biting her nails and told her to relax. The lady almost fell for her bodyguard and asked him what they should do next. The lady then opened her window and checked Jihan's live stream, tracking him in real time. Jihan is in a fierce battle, fighting against other players while viewers cheer him on to win first place. He delivers a powerful kick to a tank player, breaking the shield and sending the player flying. Focusing on the nameless divine arts foot technique, lightning thunder step, Jihan runs through all the players, killing them with swift, precise movements. Jihan notices that he has become more accustomed to the technique, feeling more confident in its use. Other players are shocked and afraid of Jihan, remembering how he defeated the flesh golem in the last tower defense battle with his vertical sword attack. For a bronze-level player, facing Jihan feels like being struck by lightning. Releasing his lightning power, Jihan covers the entire arena. The game ends with Jihan in first place. Viewers cheer for his victory, impressed by his skill. Jihan receives 200% experience and GP for achieving first place 5 times in a row, which he did not expect. As a result, his level increases by 2, bringing him to level 15. The next mission unlocks the dungeon game. This new map, available from level 15, involves clearing various traps and puzzles, unlike normal games where fighting is the primary objective. Even Battle Next recommends collaborating with party members for these dungeons, as solo play has clear limitations. However, Jihan faces a dilemma. Many people are targeting him, and if his party members sabotage him, there's little he can do. He briefly considers joining a guild but decides against it, knowing it would be troublesome to leave later. He plans to reach silver soon and intends to create his own guild when he gets there. At Jihan's apartment, he fries eggs for himself and his niece, Saya. Jihan asks Saya to set the plates, and they eat together. Saya compliments Jihan on his cooking, saying his food is really good. Jihan smiles and promises to cook even better meals for her next time. Jihan then asks Saya if her friend will pick her up for the academy. Saya finishes eating and seems reluctant to talk about it. She explains that her friend, Hee-soo, made her uncomfortable on the way home, asking too many questions. Jihan senses something is off and listens carefully as Saya continues. She adds that her mother's car is better and more comfortable. Jihan smiles and agrees with her. At the BattleNet Academy, Jihan and Saya arrive to find many scouts and reporters waiting for Jihan. Saya remarks that they drew too much attention yesterday. Jihan agrees, saying the reporters are more like stalkers. As they park, they notice the twin star recruiter, a beautiful lady, and her bodyguard waiting for JiHan. JiHan gets out of the car, wondering what she wants this time. The lady had arrived early and was waiting for him. Saya thinks the lady is too obsessed. The lady mentions that she gave JiHan her contact information, but he never reached out. Saya encourages her uncle, wishing him good luck. JiHan had forgotten about the contact card. The lady asks JiHan to give her some of his time. At the Academy Cafe, many reporters and recruiters watch JiHan and the lady, frustrated that she took the lead again. Despite having gold-level contracts, they feel disappointed. JiHan and the lady sit and talk. JiHan mentions that they're drawing a lot of attention by sitting in public. She doesn't mind, explaining that she's used to such attention as a parachute executive and a graduate of the academy. She finds JiHan's reaction surprising and difficult to accept. JiHan apologizes for not contacting her, admitting he forgot. She reveals that it's her first time chasing after someone, which surprises JiHan. Then, she calls her bodyguard, who presents a fitting contract for JiHan. She offers him a platinum contract. Other recruiters and reporters from other guilds are shocked and depressed when they see the platinum contract because they only brought gold contracts, and JiHan is only a bronze player. JiHan thinks about how much effort the lady has put into this. She is so confident, and it's clear this contract was possible due to her insistence. He realizes she is trying to seduce him with her beauty. Her bodyguard thinks the lady is very determined. Other guild recruiters begin to leave, feeling defeated. JiHan watches her and notices her perfume, which reminds him of someone named Zero from his past life. He begins to suspect that this lady, Haon, might be Zero. He wonders if everything about her is the same. Haon is puzzled by how relaxed JiHan is. His calmness in this situation is hurting her pride. She sits down, realizing she doesn't have his phone number. She decides to send him a sealed copy of the contract after he reviews it and asks how she should keep in touch. JiHan, sensing her discomfort, asks if she wants his number. Both Haon and her bodyguard feel awkward. Yes, Haon admits, I want your number. JiHan proposes a bet. He tells her he just reached level 15 and his next match will be a dungeon game. Haon and her bodyguard are surprised at how quickly he leveled up. After hitting level 15, the next game is always a dungeon game. Haon was curious when JiHan would reach this level. She's amazed he did it in just a month. But why a bet now? JiHan explains that if he doesn't finish in first place, he will sign the contract with Twinstar and give her his phone number. She warns him that many people are targeting him, and her bodyguard wonders if JiHan is entering the dungeon without a guild or party to back him up. JiHan replies, it wouldn't be a good bet if I was sure to win. Haon agrees, but admits she's scared of what JiHan might ask if he wins. JiHan says, if I win, I want to see your status window. I want to know if you are the Zero from my past life. He wants to see if she has the nurturing gift, just like Zero did. Haon is puzzled. Right now, the nurturing gift is considered useless. JiHan thinks it seems like she has it from the way she's reacting but wants to check with his own eyes. She agrees and tells JiHan not to regret it later. She suggests they go somewhere else, but JiHan says there's no need. They can wait here, and he will be right back. JiHan logs into the game and starts a live stream. His fans welcome him back. The mission is in the Gungeon. In the Gungeon, the greater fire warrior who holds an arrow and bow and rides a horse waits at the end of the game. At the dungeon, the quest's difficulty is high. In the underground tomb of a legendary conqueror, there are many soldiers. This dungeon is known for the number of monsters that appear, and there are almost no traps or puzzles. Despite that, this dungeon has a reputation for being extremely difficult. To pass the game, every party member has to survive until the end, making who you are matched with very important. Player JiHan has entered, and the player's summoning has ended. These randomly assigned party members don't seem bad. The three players are surprised to see JiHan because he is famous and powerful. They seem to be from the same guild, and their equipment is good enough. They are honored to meet JiHan and greet him. One of the players wears the Black Eagle Guild logo, and viewers comment on their good manners and the Black Eagle Guild. The three players talk about finishing in first place and trying their best. The players want to take the lead, but JiHan takes charge and tells them not to worry and just follow him. They follow JiHan, who thinks it doesn't seem like there are any trolls this time. He was a bit worried about the clear condition, so he starts running on the underground first floor. Underground guards emerge from the ground in the tunnel. The players are surprised by the number of guards and know they have to defeat them all. One player asks JiHan what to do, suggesting using magic to clear the way. But JiHan says it's not necessary and tells them to follow him. Guards attack JiHan, but he moves quickly and punches them. JiHan defeats many guards using his punches. He grabs a guard's head, tells his members to follow him, and then breaks the guard's head. His team members are shocked by JiHan's fighting and attacking skills. In this game level, there are 10 passageways. Each team is placed in one of these passageways, and all the passageways connect to the underground 7th floor, the final part of the dungeon. JiHan's team is placed in the 8th passageway and takes an overwhelming lead. JiHan punches down the guards, and they are now on the 3rd floor. His team members are surprised and cheer him on, amazed at how easily he crushes the normally durable underground soldiers as if they were made of sand. JiHan thinks this is very easy, and the viewers comment that JiHan hasn't even used a weapon since his last match. Suddenly, Takada from Japan Guild donates 10k GP to JiHan. JiHan is surprised and wonders what Takada wants. Takada comments, asking JiHan to check his inbox because he sent messages. Other viewers are annoyed and angry at Takada because they worry he is trying to lure JiHan away from Korea. They don't want JiHan to leave. Meanwhile, JiHan kicks a guard and breaks it. He reassures his viewers that he won't leave for Japan and blocks Takada. JiHan's party members are impressed by him. They marvel at how he breaks such solid enemies while testing one of their swords. They thank JiHan for finishing all the enemies and express their desire to keep gaming with him. On the 4th floor, they encounter walls and floors filled with obvious traps. One member notes that it looks like every trap in the dungeon is gathered here. JiHan asks if they can handle moving faster, and the members agree. JiHan takes care of all the traps and leaves the rear to the members. However, these members are planning something bad. One member holds a sword and another an arrow. They want JiHan to leave them behind. When JiHan leaps forward, they plan to commit suicide to ensure he fails, as they have been promised a reward of 1 million GP. All the Black Eagle Guild members receive this quest from the Sword King FC, and Takada, whom JiHan had just blocked, is behind it all. Takada is watching JiHan's live stream from his apartment, planning to make JiHan fail again. He wasn't planning to use the same strategy twice, but spending money is all he can do now. He's sure JiHan will fail this time. Takada bought all the Black Eagle members out and instructed them to act discreetly. The moment JiHan leaps forward, he will fail, unless someone warns him ahead of time. At that moment, the Golden Streamer is also watching JiHan's live stream, shining with excitement because he is a big fan of JiHan. JiHan moves quickly, with one party member following him. Arrows shoot from the wall traps towards JiHan, and his teammate shouts for him to dodge, offering to clear the arrows with his skill. JiHan is calm and uses his power to control the space with Force Absolute Domain. All the arrows stop in the air, shocking both the viewers and his teammates. One member notices the other two preparing to commit suicide and shouts to JiHan about their plan. JiHan is also shocked and, using his nameless divine arts footwork lightning thunder step, stops them immediately. He uses his force power to put them on the ground and controls them so they cannot move. The teammate who followed JiHan asks if everything is okay. JiHan narrowly stopped the suicides in time. The members who tried to commit suicide blamed JiHan for stopping them, not realizing they all received the same quest. JiHan figures out that the moment one person commits suicide, the game ends, and the reward goes to only one. The teammate who followed JiHan apologizes, explaining that the members are all from the same guild. JiHan is glad he was able to stop them in time and tells the teammate there's no need to apologize. When the teammate tries to commit suicide, JiHan stops him using his force, realizing he also received the same quest. JiHan figures out the truth thanks to the golden streamer, who warns JiHan by donating 10k GP with a message. All the Black Eagle Guild members had been bought out and were trying to commit suicide to receive 1,000,000 GP. The golden streamer, a fan of JiHan, was watching the stream in real time, even keeping an eye on the streams of his teammates. That's when he saw the Sword King fan club giving the mission with 1,000,000 GP reward. The viewers comment on how crazy and bad the Sword King fan club is. The golden streamer's warning helped JiHan prevent the planned suicides. Thanks to his reliable helper, JiHan was able to save the day. The golden streamer donated 10k GP to send a message to JiHan, expressing his loyalty and asking JiHan to accept him as his editor. JiHan decides to punish the treacherous party members by using his force to crush their faces into the ground. He picks up his sword, ready to conclude the game. JiHan contemplates the situation, thinking that a guild with some reputation or another faction besides the Sword King's fan club must be involved. The viewers agree, noting that someone offering 1,000,000 GP to check JiHan's status window must be really obsessed with him. Suddenly, one viewer comments that it might be Takada, and the chat explodes with agreement. JiHan also suspects Takada, believing he is desperate enough to use dirty tactics to see JiHan's status window. JiHan decides to change his subscriber pledge from 200k to 1,000,000, while still aiming to keep the first place. The viewers are outraged at Takada because JiHan increased the subscriber goal. JiHan takes out a rope from his inventory and, with a determined look, ties up the party members who tried to commit suicide. In his mind, he thanks Takada for inadvertently helping him draw more attention and push his promise away from showing his status window. JiHan plans to leverage this situation to reach 1,000,000 subscribers. With the rope in hand, JiHan suddenly pulls the party members along with him as he moves faster. They are dragged along the ground and even fly into the air. As they move, soldiers emerge from the walls, ready to defend their emperor's rest. The environment turns dark as they reach the 6th floor, the penultimate level of the dungeon. JiHan ties up and drags the party members who tried to commit suicide to make him fail. The viewers are puzzled by their silence, not realizing JiHan used his force to shut their mouths. They marvel at JiHan's power, questioning how a bronze-level player could be so strong. 10 minutes earlier, the party members were shouting and trying to intimidate JiHan with the name of their Black Eagle Guild. JiHan pressed points on their bodies to weaken them, causing them to collapse. The viewers wonder how he managed this. JiHan had used an acupuncture technique, something only high-class warriors or martial artists could do. They are confused about how JiHan, supposedly a support-type player, could perform such feats. As the party members realize they might be dragged around by JiHan indefinitely, one of them tries to mention JiHan's niece to scare him. However, JiHan shuts his mouth before he can speak, silencing him effectively. The party members are in pain from being dragged across the floor, but JiHan heals them to keep them alive. JiHan focuses on his plan. He's now on the 6th floor, and after finishing it, only the final boss remains. Soldiers emerge from the walls, filling the dark floor with clay warriors. They surround JiHan and prepare to attack. The party members are terrified as the soldiers try to cut them down, but JiHan steps in, defending and defeating the soldiers. JiHan throws the party members away from the soldiers and engages in battle. He kills all the soldiers with his sword. Suddenly, The soldiers' eyes begin to glow, and the tomb starts shaking. The party members are even more terrified as more soldiers emerge from the walls to protect the emperor. The situation grows increasingly dire. JiHan observes the soldiers' frenzied state, wondering how to handle the escalating chaos. JiHan receives a quest to kill all the soldiers and earn 1,000 achievement points. It's been a while since he last got a quest like this, not since the defense map. To protect his party members, JiHan creates a shield around them. He tests the shield with his sword, combining it with his force, making it even more solid. With the shield in place, JiHan no longer needs to worry about their safety. He then unleashes his full power, activating Force Absolute Domain. No matter how many times JiHan uses this ability, it always amazes him. Within the Absolute Domain, the soldiers' movements become sluggish. With just a gesture, JiHan can neutralize all of them at once. This domain is his to control. JiHan is disappointed that Baron only used such a powerful ability as a mere stronger version of magic power. Determined to finish the fight quickly, JiHan swings his sword, combining his force and magic. The attack is so powerful that it sends all the soldiers flying through the air, defeating them instantly. With the soldiers defeated, JiHan completes the quest and passes the level. The Conqueror's tomb can only be cleared if every party member survives. The boss welcomes JiHan, reminding them that the essence of gold is to be stolen, whether it be taken from someone or lost to someone. They must pay respect to the boss to clear the final stage and receive their rewards. JiHan's viewers cheer as he reaches the boss stage on the underground 7th floor. All 4 players must bow on the silver rings to proceed. JiHan throws his party members to the ground, then uses his force to untie the ropes and make them stand and move on their own. Currently, JiHan's force stat is 18, which increases the range and influence of his Force Absolute Domain. He positions himself near the center, ensuring all members are within his domain's range, and makes them pay respect to the statue boss. The statue acknowledges their respect and declares the dungeon cleared. It tells them to return plundered. The exit portal opens, signaling the end of the dungeon. The party members, thinking about the million GP they failed to secure, at least take solace in finishing first. However, they wonder why JiHan is not moving. The game only ends when they exit the dungeon. JiHan stands firm, deep in thought. He has cleared the 7th floor, but he knows there's more to consider beyond just finishing the game. His eyes remain focused, ready for what comes next. JiHan stands smiling, watching as a hidden quest is revealed. Paying proper respects to the Conqueror's statue offers a reward of 5,000 achievement points. He thinks 5,000 points is huge and notices the Conqueror's arrow, which is so big it looks like a spear. This impressive arrow is being offered as a reward. His party members wonder why JiHan is standing around and what he'll do if another team arrives. Suddenly, JiHan grabs one member and says to the statue, "I will pay proper respects," then throws the member towards the statue. The statue kills the player by shaking its horse head. Everyone is shocked by JiHan's action. The statue asks JiHan, "Are you talking about me?" JiHan replies, "The plunderer of plunderers. I want to pay proper respect to you. I don't want something like gold that can be found anywhere. I want something with real value, like that arrow you're holding," pointing to the boss statue's arrow. The boss statue laughs loudly, clearly impressed by JiHan. He rates JiHan very highly and declares, "I shall gift you, the one who paid me proper respects, my treasure." JiHan prepares himself, picking up his sword and standing in defense as the boss statue gets ready to shoot the arrow. The statue aims and fires the massive arrow, and JiHan prepares to catch the plunderer of plunderer's phoenix arrow. JiHan tries to catch the phoenix arrow from the boss statue. The heat emitted from the boss is so intense that the party members can barely breathe and start to burn. JiHan worries they will die, not because he cares about them, but because their weapons will disappear with them, including the sword he is using. Jihan realizes he has to finish this quickly. The heat is so intense that even gold is melting. One member has already died from the heat. Jihan feels the heat and knows the arrow is too powerful to defend against directly. Instead, he targets the bow before the boss can shoot the arrow. Recalling a technique taught by a sage long ago, which points the way with precision and speed, Jihan uses an instant stab to break the boss's bow. The shot goes astray and hits the ground instead of Jihan. The boss's bow is broken. Impressed, the boss asks Jihan for his name. Jihan answers, and the boss grants him the Phoenix Arrow as a reward for showing proper respect. Jihan receives the Phoenix Arrow, which is so large it looks like a spear. The boss tells Jihan he hopes for a more honorable battlefield next time, then disappears. Jihan tests the Phoenix Spear and feels good about it. He thinks he could remove the feather at the tail end and use it as a spear. The viewers wonder how Jihan stopped the boss's arrow and obtained the Phoenix Arrow. They speculate about the technique Jihan used. They don't know that the technique, called Sage Guidance, is near instant and uses thin sword ki to precisely target a point. Jihan can control his divine nameless power better now. The first time he used it, it was unstable and wasted a lot of strength. But with practice, it becomes more efficient and precise. If he continues like this, he will be able to use higher techniques soon. Jihan receives a quest notification that he has been recognized by the Conqueror and is exempted from the underground 7th floors. The mission is over, and only one party member is left. When Jihan looks at his status window, he sees the member apologizing. Without hesitation, Jihan kills the remaining member using his Phoenix Spear. A message appears, a party member has died. Jihan exits the game, and reporters and recruiters are stunned to see he finished in first place. They're also amazed that he acquired the Phoenix Arrow from a bronze dungeon. A beautiful lady and her bodyguard from the Twin Star Guild are in shock. Jihan asks if they watched the live stream and proudly tells them he finished first again. The bodyguard is still getting used to Jihan's exceptional performance, and the lady is equally amazed. Jihan then asks the lady to show him her stat window, reminding her of their promise. She's nervous because Jihan's Phoenix Spear is glowing with powerful energy, and both she and her bodyguard are scared. The lady has no choice but to keep her promise. She reluctantly tells Jihan not to regret seeing her stat window and reveals it to him. Jihan smiles, as expected. He finds a special gift that can help nurture other players. The lady, feeling shy, asks Jihan not to spread rumors about her stat. Her bodyguard is concerned because the lady dislikes talking about her gift, which she received after spending a lot of money and effort at an academy. In the past, while in a car, she expressed her disappointment about getting the nurture gift after spending so much money and praying for days. She felt terrible and regretted going to that academy. Jihan, still smiling, reassures her that he's not laughing at her gift but actually likes it. She is shocked and shy at his response. Then, Jihan asks for her phone number. Surprised, she wonders why he's asking for it. Although she had already given him a contact card, which he lost, she gives him her phone number again. She thinks Jihan isn't interested in her and is probably only interested in her gift, nurture. Despite feeling like she's being messed with, she includes a heart emoji with her phone number, fulfilling her duty as the director of Twin Star Guild, Lee Ha-yun. Jihan notices the heart emoji and says he'll contact her later, maintaining a simple expression, which makes her feel mocked and annoyed. At the academy, Seiya is watching her uncle Jihan's live stream in her classroom. Her roommates cheer for her uncle, amazed at how incredible he is. However, her best friend, Hisu, looks upset and bites her lip in anger. One of Seiya's friends comments on how different her uncle Jihan is now compared to when they visited her house last month. Back then, he was an unemployed drunk. but now he's completely transformed. Another friend asks Saya to introduce her to her uncle, impressed by his new success. Saya is happy to see her uncle maturing. Hisu, however, changes the topic and reminds Saya about her special day coming up, her 18th birthday, the day she'll officially become a player. Upon turning 18, everyone awakens as a player and unlocks a status window. Saya's friends cheer her on, telling her not to be nervous and that she'll soon be able to join them in battles. At Battle Next Academy, students receive education and training in anticipation of their awakening day, and the gift hall is the academy's focal point. Gifts are the most important aspect for students. Other students speculate that Saya will receive an A or at least an S rank gift, considering her lineage. Her father is SSS rank, her mother is an SS rank saintess, and her uncle has been breaking records in every game. Rumors suggest his gift is at least R rank. Feeling uncomfortable, Saya reminds them that there is no connection between genetics and gifts. Despite her brave front, she feels uneasy and worries about the rank of her gift. With her birthday on the 22nd and today being the 13th, there's not much time left. Saya is nervous and worried. Hisu tries to comfort her, telling her everything will be fine and to stay calm until her birthday. Although Saya says she doesn't need any presents, Hisu has a different plan. She wants to destroy and humiliate Saya. Meanwhile, in Tokyo, Japan, at the Inyo Self-Defense Forces first training room, the Sword King is showcasing his prowess by defeating all players with his dual swords. Examiners and trainers marvel at his strength, noting that he has become even stronger. They review his stats, which are all higher than before. They are eager to see the Sword King's first international match as a Japanese player, especially looking forward to the competition between Korea and Japan.